So this is the structure that we currently have, and it's far better than what we had before we did this refactoring. However, there is a tiny problem in this structure. Under the app folder, some of our folders are modules, whereas the others are components. For example, here, admin, shared, and shopping are modules, but navbar, home, and login are components. Now, in this particular application, it doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world. But in a more enterprise-like application, chances are you're going to have more components in the root module. It would be nicer if every folder under the app folder was a module. So this is what I want to do now. I want to move these three components, navbar, home, and login, under a new module called core. So this is the core of the application. Potentially here we can have other components like contact, about, privacy policy, and so on. So I'm going to quickly move these three folders under core/components. Now look at this structure. We've got admin, core, shared, and shopping. And each of these folders represents a module. Now at this point, I have not created the core module yet. We simply have a folder structure. Let's make sure the application is working. So we don't have any errors in the console. Beautiful. Now let's create the core module. So back in the terminal, ng-gm core. Okay. Now let's go to app module and move these components from the declarations array into our new module. So navbar, home, and login. Cut. And let's go to core.module here in the declarations. I'm going to move these and import these classes. So here's the end result. We have a simple, lightweight module with these components. Now we need to export this bootstrap navbar component because we have used this in the template for app component. So let's go to app component.html. Look, on the top, we have used the bootstrap navigation bar component. So back to our core module. Here we want to export bootstrap navbar component. And finally, now that we have this core module, we need to import it into our app module. So we've got shared module, admin, shopping, and also core module. Let's import it on the top. Okay, now let's test the application. So we don't get any errors here. However, the links in the navbar don't work. So nothing happens when I click the shopping cart link. Here's the reason for this. On the template for navbar component, we have used the router link directive. You know that this directive is defined in the router module. Now in this particular case, we don't get an error, but this router link is somehow ignored. So we get an anchor without a link. To fix this problem, we need to properly import the router module in the core module, because here we're using features of routing. So back in the core module, we add another dependency, router module for child. Now I'm going to go to app module and move those main routes into this module. So back in app module, we've got two routes, the home page and the login page. Cut and paste them here. Now here we have an interesting issue. This products component is defined in the shopping module. So with this implementation, we have to import the shopping module here. But I don't want to do this because this can potentially cause circular dependencies between our modules. We want to keep the dependency between our modules very, very lightweight. So to fix this problem, I want to move these routes back to the app module because there it's perfectly fine to import the shopping module. So cut. Back to app module. I'm going to keep the main routes here. And in our core module, I want to pass an empty array to forChild method. Now let's test the application. So our link is working, and this is our shopping cart page. Beautiful.